You guys, we just had a really nasty storm the other day. I mean, it was scary. We were stuck in a pickup out in this storm. I really didn't get any good footage of it. Here's just a little bit of some vertical footage that I took to put on Instagram and Snapchat and stuff. It was a terrifying storm. 70, 80 mile an hour winds sustained for like 20 minutes straight. We got 2.5 inches of rain, I think, in half an hour or an hour or less. It was insane. We're gonna go check out storm damage to the crops in just a second here, but first I need to explain, I made an editing mistake last week in this video about mowing down the corn. There was a clip where I actually explained why I was mowing this corn down, but the audio was really bad and I ended up editing that clip out and I forgot to go back and explain to you what happened. Some of you were really confused, and rightfully so. I apologize, that was my mistake. This little square piece of corn that I mowed down last week was actually our sweet corn patch. And the reason that I mowed it down is because it was done producing. It was overly mature. The corn wasn't any good for eating anymore. So that's what I was doing. I was just cleaning up, mowing down the overly mature, overly ripe sweet corn, rolling up the fence and cleaning up this area that had some weeds growing up in it. Let's go get in the truck and check out some storm damage to the crops. Hey there, thanks for turning down my road. If this is your first time here, my name's Carl. My little brother and I both work for local farmers full time, but we both also farm together with our cattle herd and our hay operation. If you don't have the joy of farming yourself, I'd love to help you experience it through this channel. Whatever your background, you found the right place. This is Dodge Brothers Farm and Ranch. So walking down along the outside edge of the field, this hybrid actually stood really well. And then we get over here into this next hybrid and it did not stand well at all. Wow, I mean, standing tall, laying flat. Let's throw the drone up in the air and see what this looks like from above. We had the planter split, left side one hybrid and right side the other hybrid. So it should be a pretty stunning visual from above. Let's take a look. This is crazy. Look at how shredded up these leaves are on these corn plants. You guys, it looks like a hailstorm went through here, but every field I stop at, it's the same story. Right here on the west edge and the north edge of the field, it looks like it got hail on it. But this is just damage from the 70 mile an hour wind driving the heavy rain through these leaves, turning the raindrops into little bullets, shredding these leaves up. 3 or 4 or 5 rows into the field, there's no damage at all. And when you look at the soybeans across the road, there's no leaf damage to the soybeans. This is just wind blowing the rain and tearing the edges of these leaves off right around the outside of the field on the north and west side where the storm came from. Let's go into the field a little bit and take a look. All right. So, I mean, look at these leaves in here where it was sheltered from the wind and rain by the outside few rows of the field. There's really, this doesn't look like hail damage at all. You get right out on the edge of the field, the first couple rows, and it's just shredded up. See, this particular field here, the stalks are broken over. Are they all broken at the nodes? This one's broken off at a node. This one's broken off at a node. It is very hybrid specific. Whether the corn fell down or not and how it fell down is very specific to each hybrid right now, it looks like. The other field I was just in, it was tipped over at the roots. So just to kind of see what happened with that field that tipped over at the roots, we grabbed a few root samples, rinsed them out in a 5-gallon bucket, and you can see I've got 3 roots here. 2 of them are from the hybrid that did not fall down. These 2, if you look at like the massive root structure there on that one, and this one to a certain extent, compared with the much smaller root structure on that plant. Now the stalk integrity is great on this one, probably even more so than this other hybrid that didn't fall down, but this just massive structure of roots really held that plant up in that windstorm. Well, we got some rain last night, about 1.25 inches at the farm, and just 3 miles up the road, a neighbor had 4 inches in his gauge, and I'd heard that there's some guys half an hour to an hour north of us that got up to 9 inches in just a 4 or 5 hour period overnight. Just an insane amount of water coming down this little creek today. So I'm getting the hay mower all ready to go. We're just about to start cutting hay again, and I'm flipping over the knives. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So see how this knife is really dull on the cutting edge? All you have to do is take this bolt out, take the knife off and flip it upside down, and then you can use this sharp edge. It's a pretty good system. So there's always some grass and gunk stuck in there. When you're flipping the knife over, you want to make sure you get all that off. Otherwise it'll interfere with the knife's ability to swivel. If you see, they've got to be kind of loose on the bolt. The bolt has this hex shoulder on it, and so the knife slides down on here, the bolt goes up, and the hex fits into the hub, and then this is always loose enough for the knife to be able to rotate in case you hit something. Just gonna put it back in upside down, get our bolt lined up so that it doesn't turn when I'm tightening the nut up. The nut back on and tighten her up. Perfect. Well, I am mighty thankful my brother could come take over for me. I've got some lawn to mow, I've got some hog feed to make, I've got some sunflower seeds to eat. I kind of have developed a sunflower seed addiction. I can't get off these things, but the way I see it, they're healthy, right? They're from nature. So anyway, I'm gonna go make some pig feed. I really appreciate your companionship. Now that I think about it, I kind of think I remember a few months ago I promised that I would eventually do a full feed room tour and explain to you how we grind feed for the pigs and how all the equipment in the feed room makes it really easy for one guy to take care of the nutritional needs of 4,000 or 5,000 hogs and still have time to do other things. I haven't done that yet. I apologize. I will try to work that into my schedule here in the next few weeks because I know a lot of you were saying you were really interested in how all that stuff works. Hey, I really appreciate you. I'm thankful that you decided to hang out with me today. As always, thanks for riding along. I'll see you next time.